Now I'm like, oh my God, they ain't got no pee spray over here. And now their carpet smells like your dog's pee.
Yeah, I don't know what I think I would just like pass out. I would pass away. I would black out. I'd wake up in a coma years later. And I think that I would just be like, what happened? Maybe like you've been out for 10 years.
And not waking up at your funeral.
We thought you were gone. I said, no. I was taking a break.
Couldn't handle it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Normalize This, the show where we discuss whether or not ideas, trends, and behaviors should be normalized in everyday society. My name is Adam Rippon.
And I'm Danielle Young, and you couldn't see it, but I hope you felt that I was dancing.
I felt it,
yes.
But I also couldn't see it, so I'm glad I felt it.
I knew you would feel it. What are we talking about today, Adam?
Danielle, today our topic is normalizing pets.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited, and I'm really glad because I know
squeal of excitement.
I know a lot of people have been waiting to see, well, how do we feel about pets?
I have always I grew up with pets and then moved to New York and all of that after college. So it's been a few years since I had one, and now I have one.
I know you actually.
Isn't that crazy?
You kind of adopted your brand new, beautiful son.
I did.
A little bit on the podcast.
I adopted my child on the podcast. Adam, I mean, listen, lean in because
I'm in.
Here's a story.
Okay.
If you guys haven't been listening to the podcast, which I'm sure you have, Adam shared with me and you that he got his, I'm like talking about you to you, but like talking to them.
No, I love it. I love to hear about me from you.
But Adam told me he got his adorable dog, Tony, from this shelter called Pups Without Borders. I typed it in live while we were talking about it on the podcast and immediately saw Rigatoni, the cutest little pup I ever did see. And I needed him, and I applied immediately. And I sent a text to the group chat for the podcast. And I was like, y'all, it's going down. And I felt supported. And honestly, it just felt right. And I really, I wanted a puppy, but like most things that I want, I'm never really serious.
But it felt right. It just felt so natural.
All of a sudden, it was serious. I got approved really quickly.
They do that.
They do that because, I mean, it is adoption. And most of the time, these pups are rescued as litters. And it's more than 5 or 6 at a time. So they do need to pump them out. And Tony was one of those little pups he was a pasta pup. They called his litter the pasta pups. There was a fusilli, a gemelli, a gnocchi.
Was there spaghetti?
I don't think there was a spaghetti.
No, they were only doing fancy noodles.
They were only doing, pastas that people really enjoy al dente, which is all pasta, if we're being honest. Except bow tie. I think that gets weird in macaroni.
What's al dente? I know what it is, right? But I don't know it. I don't know what it really is.
Do I need to explain it to everyone else?
Is it like chew? Like it just means that it's not like soft?
Technically, yeah.
Help me, please, Danielle.
Yeah, technically, it's not cooked to death. It's cooked with just the right amount of time so that it's not crunchy, but it has some body to it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the only way to actually
eat
pasta and cook pasta. So, but yes, my pasta pup. So I'm very excited to talk about normalizing pets. And I feel like that was kind of my fun fact.
Oh, I think that was absolutely your fun fact.
I adopted my beautiful Rigatoni with 2 G's for obvious reasons.
For greatness and glory.
Or, if you're Black, if you know, you know. But yes, I
Yes, I'm
adopted.
white, so I don't know. And I still don't know.
All the Black people are like, oh my God, hilarious. But yeah, that's my fun fact. What about yours?
I would say my fun fact is that we got our dogs from the same rescue, and I think Rigatoni.
And they have the same name.
I know,
almost.
Which is kind of amazing. It is amazing to me that they have very similar names, and I think that they're both. Tell me if I'm wrong. From Tijuana.
I think so.
Yeah,
I've been trying to dig into his mama's story because a lot of those dogs are rescued from the border.
Yes. Yeah, I know Tony's mom, and she had a few litters, and I know that they were trying to get her, and they did. And she had the litter that my little Tony was in. So,
Aww.
Tijuana. So that I actually had a fact today.
You did, and it was fun.
Thank you. I feel I'm getting the hang of it, right?
Normally, if you've been listening, Adam's facts have been around the beverages that he's consuming in the moment.
Yeah, they've been more like sort of insightful visuals in front of me more than facts.
Less fun and also less factual. Well, I guess it is factual. So
yeah, it has its ups and downs. But whether I get the facts right or wrong, I need to make sure that you stick with us because later on in the show we're gonna play our favorite game, Keep It or Curb It, and Danielle or Curb It. We're still working out the trademark with that jingle.
And apparently the notes as well.
And yeah. Because I'll be honest, the note is there's a few notes, and sometimes I hit just one note.
They're in there. Yeah,
they are in there. But that's the segment where Danielle and I will decide what to celebrate and what to toss aside like old shit garbage.
Oh my gosh, that was very, very violent sounding.
Yeah, I know.
But that is how we do it.
Right, because I'm feeling passionate today. I'm ready. I'm
out.
excited to get going about pets.
Me too. Obviously, one of my very new and exciting topics of conversation. Now that I'm a mother, no drama.
No drama. No. Pet ownership is turning into the Wild West. I'll say it. People are owning all sorts of animals, taking them places, and just behaving in all sorts of ways that we weren't accustomed to as young children.
No, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
I've seen monkeys as pets. Don't do that.
No, there was a woman who had her face ripped off by a monkey.
Yeah, that's because, they're wild.
They're not pets. They're wild. And it's the Wild West. And today, we're going to normalize pets and pet ownership. So you out there understand how to raise your fur baby. And maybe Danielle and I can learn a few things from each other about being pet parents because we both are.
We both are. And my pet is so my son. So, yeah.
Oh my God. Mine is, I'm so obsessed.
He is my son.
Let's go. I cannot wait to talk about this.
I'm so excited to talk about this.
Well, okay, I've been a pet owner for a year. Tony is my first pet ever.
That is a lot. First of all, your first ever and your first inside of a pandemic.
Yeah, so Danielle, I want a history of what it was like to be Danielle Young growing up with pets. How many pets have you had? What kind of pets have you had? What's your history with being a mother?
Being a mother. This is my first time being a mother. I've always been like, I guess, a sibling.
Okay.
A sibling to pets.
You've always been a sister, but you haven't been a mother.
I haven't been a mother. And there's a different responsibility as a sister, especially because I'm one of 6. So.
Wait, did we ever talk about this?
I'm not sure. I feel like.
You're one of 6.
Yeah, I'm one of 6 and I'm the baby at that. Like.
Wait.
Does so much more things make sense now? Are you seriously one of 6?
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
And I'm the baby.
Oh, wait. Now it's kind of making sense why we get along so well.
Yeah, because you do treat me like an older sibling.
Yeah,
I do. Sweet.
This is really making a lot of sense.
I'm crying a little bit.
Yeah, I'm crying too. Everything I'm saying is through tears, which can be pretty much said for every episode of this podcast. I'm saying it all through tears.
Truly. Have I cried already? If I haven't.
I will get you there.
They may bubble up on this episode talking about my son. But yeah, so I've always grown up having a dog around in different iterations. Like the first dog I remember was my birth mom's dog, Lady. We inherited her. Like my birth mom passed when I was a baby. And so my aunt, who I call my mom, took custody and all of that. But we kind of we kept Lady, and Lady ended up passing. And then we kept like another dog in the house, Bubba. But Bubba got too big and had to go outside and was more of an outside dog. And I remember like having like a clue that something had happened to Lady and feeling a way about it. But I just don't remember what happened after that other than having Bubba. But Bubba stayed outside. And then once we moved into a smaller house, because we grew up in a big house when it was all 6 of us. And then, after some years and stuff from people moving in and out, we moved into a smaller space and we got Champ, who was like, I don't know if you call him like a chow. Is that like a type of dog?
Like a chow chow?
Yeah, like a chow chow.
Okay. You seemed tepid about going the double chow.
I was, because I thought that was something we made up.
No, that's actually something that the Breeders Association did.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to be calling it that. And be like, girl, no. I should have stood tall in my truth.
Yes, you should have. This is your third sibling that you're on right now.
But Champ was his name. Champ was inside the house, and again, smaller space. And then Champ, as he got bigger, got a lot more aggressive.
Oh, God, Champ.
Yeah, to the point where my mom was kind of like, I don't know. And my aunt took him because she has a bigger yard. And also my uncle could do, more with him because he had a, different type of job. He had the ability. And so they took Champ. But then one day, Champ got very aggressive and actually bit my uncle.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it was really bad. Like hospital bad. And yeah, and so Champ had to be put down. And that was my first time experiencing like that type of thing could happen to an animal.
Yeah.
And it just felt really sad. And I guess it was kind of sad for the whole family because after that, we really didn't do any more pets in the house. And also by that time, I was in like middle school. So a lot of my older siblings were starting to move out anyway. And so we didn't have any more animals from then. And I've always loved dogs, but it just wasn't something that my mom wanted to deal with either. So yeah, having gone to college and then moving to New York after that, it wasn't really, I don't think, ideal for me. And also I was broke as hell.
Hard to be a mother when you're broke as hell.
I didn't want that for my life.
No.
And also my little, roommate situations or, my own apartment was really small. But I did move into a New York situation. This is very, very New York. If you've ever lived or are living there, this would make so much sense to you. Where I lived in this 5-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn. So I was one of 5 roommates in this house.
Okay, that's actually less people than I thought you were going to say. I was ready for like 20.
Oh my God. I don't think I could ever have done that. I thought living with 5 people was insane, or, 4 other people was insanity. Because, at any given time, they could have friends over and you've never met these people. And then you're like walking to the bathroom one night and like some dude is just walking to, and you're just like,
yeah, no, I don't know.
This?
Right. I wouldn't love that.
Didn't love that part about living with that many people. But there were animals. There was 1 cat and 1 dog at one point. And then one point it was 2 dogs and a cat. It was just insanity.
I'm going to say something. I do think it's kind of, okay, if you have that many roommates, I think it's a little bold to bring an animal into the situation.
Thank you. Because none of those people were trying to act like it was crazy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm putting my foot down retroactively, but I think that's overstepping.
Normalize pet ownership in your own space.
Space, exactly.
Because when you have roommates, even if you take really great care of your dog is still a dog.
Right.
So obviously you wouldn't want, as a normal human, you wouldn't want your roommate's dog just locked away in their room all day if you're at home, like, so you're like, oh, I'll take the dog and like let them roam the house. But then you're now responsible for anything.
That dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
That could happen. And so it feels kind of like, ugh.
Yeah, I think that's overstepping a bit. But Danielle, I don't have a long history. I have zero history of having dogs.
I know, with Tony being your very first. How do you feel as a father?
As a father, I feel like I've come into my own, because as a child, I know the confident, charismatic person you hear in your ear today. That wasn't always the case for me, because I used to be very scared of dogs.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And
Tony does not look like the type of dog someone would get if they've been afraid of dogs.
No, usually if you're afraid of dogs, the first dog you get is usually not a pit bull mix. And I took the unorthodox route of finding the scariest dog. But when I was young, the first dog I was ever scared of was, and it's a terrifying name, one of my best friends growing up, Emily. The dog's name was Princess Love. Oh. Think about it. That is a scary name.
Terrifying.
So I was scared of dogs. I was scared of Princess Love, and I always put on a brave face and was like, oh, haha, and like pet them. But I was scared. But I had two fish growing up. They were both named after Beanie Babies. Mm. The first was Erin, who was she was an Irish bear, and I loved Erin. And then my second fish pet was Princess Diana.
Oh.
Right. And much like the real Princess Diana, this one did have a tragic ending as well.
Oh, my God.
Princess Diana jumped into the filter within an hour of having her. So she was not
suicide immediately.
Yeah, she wasn't happy. She wasn't in a happy home. The home was happy. She just wasn't happy in it.
Oh, Lord.
So I did take a sabbatical from pets.
No wonder. Okay, understood.
But something changed, and I felt like I really, really wanted a dog. I think that I started to warm up to the fact that I love them and that they're so, I don't know, everybody just says that, dogs bring so much joy to your life. And my husband has had a bunch of dogs. And we finally were like, yes, we're going to get a dog. We talked about it for about a year before we finally, it's very much like how you went on, you saw Rigatoni, you just were like, I'm going to go for it. We did the same thing with our Tony, and it all kind of moved really quickly. And we've had Tony for about a year now.
Wow.
I know. And I've never looked back.
I can't wait to get to that moment with Rigatoni, because first of all, found out that puppies are no longer puppies after that year. Mm-hmm. And that's got to be exciting, because now we have a groove, we have a bond. Now he's probably peeing and pooping outside.
Yes, he is. Now.
Wait.
He's doing it now. And so I'll tell you that we were really good about when we first got Tony, that JP, he would take him out once every hour, just so that Tony could, figure out that peeing and pooping outside was the best situation for him. Yeah. Obviously, Tony did somehow found a way to pee on every single carpeted surface in the house. Never went on the floor that's not carpet.
See, the good thing is Rigatoni does go on the regular floor, the hardwood.
See, that is kind of conscientious.
And it is nicer to clean up, I will admit. He's done a couple of times on two different rugs.
Mm-hmm.
But
Two different rugs. And I was surprised that he did it on the main rug, because he loves that thing. And he was not doing it on there at all until today. Wow. He christened it.
He christened it after I praised him so hard for pooping and peeing on the pad. I was so excited for him.
See, I remember that maybe we had Tony for about a month or two, and we got a new rug in my office. And I remember I put it down, and Tony was walking around, and I could just tell in his eyes that he had a track record up to this point of peeing on every rug, and this was a new rug. So I felt like I knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And he never did until we made eye contact. And that's when he truly felt like it was okay, when really it wasn't.
It wasn't.
No.
It's the eye contact for me
it is
when
the
they're
eye
doing
contact.
it. And all the websites tell you not to punish, but sometimes I can't help myself and I scream. And I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't do that. I'm going to scare him from using the bathroom.
I know. But you know what I did was that every time he went outside, I acted like it was like the best thing that's ever happened to me.
That's what I've been doing. When he goes on the path, I'm telling you, full on song and dance and snacks.
Yes. Oh, snacks.
Plural. The whole
Snacks,
strip of
plural.
whatever the thing is this time. The whole strip. No, I'm not going to break it.
I remember that I think I watched every single YouTube video on how to train a dog at least 3 times. Every single one. And so I felt like I was prepared. I would say, okay, hear me out. I will say that they did help me just feel like I knew what I was doing, because I definitely felt a little bit like, I don't know, like, how strict can you be with a puppy, and like, how nice should you be?
I know,
like,
because they have to know that something is wrong with it, because I do not want this to continue. Because I will make the mistake of loving you.
That which would
and
be a huge
wet
mistake.
Pause, and I'm like, oops, no.
Yeah. And so I remember, but the thing that was really helpful was it was helpful in how to teach him how to do sit and lay down, and some like little tricks of like when to reinforce him, when to like reinforce the good behavior. And when I wanted him to do something more complicated, that if he had just done it a little bit, like to reward that little bit and take it like a few steps at a time. So it was really helpful to learn a few like helpful little tidbits here and there around the house.
Yeah, because I need that. But like, I'm very lucky because I think, and I feel like everybody says this about their own dog, but I think Rigatoni is very smart.
Yes.
Because he's only now 13 weeks old, and he came to me knowing how to sit and actively, like, most puppies just be ignoring you, but actively knows that no is no. Even,
that's very good.
In certain regards, it's peeing on things. Okay. The no's not working there. But like,
no means yes.
He's like, I'm going to keep peeing, girl, and look at you while I'm doing it and clean it up. And I do. But I like not going into the kitchen specifically. And I thought would be tougher because I do have an open layout where like my kitchen flows directly into my living room, but there's an island. So there is like a way to create a little barrier, and he's really good about not crossing it.
Okay. Actually, this leads me to my next question, Danielle. What are some of the things that Rigatoni is not allowed to do?
He is not allowed to be in the kitchen.
Yes.
He is not allowed to go in my room.
Where does he sleep?
He has his own room.
Okay, Rich.
I live a life.
I want to live at your house.
Not for nothing. It's very nice over here. I have a big tech day job. I work at Meta during the day. So thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
But yeah, so Rigatoni, I need to send you a picture of him in his quote unquote crate, because it's technically the size of the room that he's in.
I love that. So we never got Tony a crate, but at first we got him this little like tent. And we always used to say
I love the tent.
I loved the tent. And Tony really did love it. But I can tell, sometimes I feel like I wish that he had like a little crate space, because he loves to go under all of like our shorter tables, and they like loves
to be in things.
Yes, he loves to be under stuff.
Yeah, so it's I've been looking, and this is crazy too, because everybody also said like, oh, girl, say goodbye to your money. And I was like, I'm gonna be like, not frugal or anything, but like, because I want him to definitely eat what he's supposed to eat and support him in the ways that he should be supported. But like, I was like, I'm not gonna go crazy.
Famous last words.
why last night was I looking at different, because like the crate thing that I have doesn't have a top. So it's like an open, like it's almost like a fence, but inside.
Okay.
Can you visualize
that? So it's like
that?
cathedral ceilings for a dog.
Yeah, it's open ceiling, open ceiling.
Concept ceilings. Yeah. Okay. Love it.
Yeah. So it's like a big little fenced in area inside of a room. But dogs are really like good about not pushing the boundary on that, because he can literally push the thing over.
Yes.
If he so chose.
But he so chooses not to.
But he doesn't. He sits in, even when he's like dying to be with me, he'll still just be in there. And I'm like, oh, that's super impressive. But what happens when he gets bigger? Because I also, when you rescue pups, you don't really know unless you do your own DNA testing. But even then, it's like, because of the mix, you really aren't sure the size. But I know Rigatoni's probably going to get a little bigger.
Danielle, you should do the DNA testing.
Yeah? Is it helpful for you?
Oh, it wasn't as helpful as I was just like so interested just to
know
what
he was.
Because at first I was thinking when I saw Tony, I was like, I bet he's like, there's some Chihuahua in there, because he was pretty tiny and he had this like really tiny head. But I knew that there was some pit bull because I could just tell like in his face, but he didn't really look very pit-bully-ish.
Right. Like mine, everybody's like, oh, I can see with the marks. He's like a pit, has some pit in him. But then when I like look at pits, I'm like,
no,
he's not that.
Yes.
He just has those white markings, but I don't know.
But you'll love it. So I did it. And so Tony he's mostly pit bull. And then he's a mix of like Rottweiler, German Shepherd, boxer, like a murderer. Okay.
Like what a scary dog.
Yeah, can you imagine? And that golden retriever. So the golden retriever took over of his whole color. So like, and I can see a little bit of all of these dogs from different angles.
What's really funny too is that like in Rigatoni's litter, the one that they called the alpha, his name is Gnocchi, he's brown, and all the other dogs are black.
Okay, I think Mom has a little explaining to do.
I was like, wait, so what does this mean? And Mom is all white with some black spots on her. And I was like,
there's something to talk about at the family reunion.
So I'm wondering, dogs can get pregnant by different dogs at once?
No, I'm making that up, I think.
Because I was like, how does that?
Can we normalize knowing things?
We do love research, but only when it's provided for us.
Right. Hold on. I'm Googling it right now. Can a dog, like, what you want to see, like the stupidest person in the world Google something, get ready. Can a dog get pregnant from multiple dogs
at once?
At once.
Because like, I mean, I guess.
Oh my God. Yes. Wait. Well, hold on. It says yes. Female dogs can be mated by more than one dog during their fertile period, meaning a mixture of sperm, gross, is present and waiting to fertilize her eggs when she ovulates.
I am offended.
That is...
It's waiting? Like...
Oh, that's crazy.
There's apparently a technical term for this called superfecundation.
I've heard of that. Superconvendation.
No, superfecundation.
Oh.
With an F, superfecundation? Superfecundation.
Okay, love it. So there can be multiple fathers. I didn't know that.
Well, I wondered, only because that one pup was like completely like brown in the way that Tony is. And then everybody else looks like Rigatoni, that like is fully black with like these white different spots, but they look like different dogs. That's why I was like, wait, is that a possible thing?
Well, we've just figured out that
and we
it
did.
Is. Yeah,
poor
that is
female those poor bitches.
They're loving it. I know that they're loving it.
Loving it. Deposit it.
Deposit. Bank it, Mom. Bank it.
Well, you know what's really funny is that this podcast has turned into us being the most annoying pet parents.
Every pet parent is annoying.
Yeah, like we honestly think our babies are superior because they are.
So, Danielle, I think now would be a good time to admit our bias because, we're both dog parents. So I know that a lot of this episode is going to focus on dogs.
And specifically ours.
Right. It's going to focus on our 2 dogs.
The Tonys.
But later on in this episode, we're going to do a rapid fire word association around other pets. So if you have a pet that's not a dog, you will feel included and seen.
I guess we like inclusivity around here.
We do. We actually love it.
We do. Everybody's included. Bring your fish.
Bring your fish. So in the meantime, I think that we should talk about pet etiquette.
Petiquette, as I like to call it.
Mm-hmm. Petiquette.
Ooh.
I made that up on the spot.
I really love that. Petiquette.
Petiquette. Okay,
yes.
So while you're at home, if you have an excited pet, you put them in the other room or outside when you have guests over. So has Rigatoni ever had guests over?
He's not supposed to because he got one more shot he needs.
Okay. Yeah.
And also I found out he shouldn't be outside in the public space. So oops. But he has had 2 guests. And with one of them, he kind of showed his butt a little bit. But
horny.
Doing the, not in that kind of way, but in the
a showing off, a dance.
Yes, doing a little much. Just kind of running around a little more crazy than normal.
Yes.
And doing just little things here and there, like going a little bit too far into the kitchen. And he knows better. So I could tell that he acts a little different when people are around, but he doesn't get way too excited. He does love people though.
Yeah, Tony loves people, and he gets very excited, but we don't let him say hi to anybody until he calms down. So usually either one of us is standing like right in front of him.
Oh, you're like a real dog parent. I'm just like going rogue out here. I'm like, say hi to my...
No, I'll like bully Tony. I'll be like, you need to sit down and you need to look at me before you go and say hi. And he'll be sitting and I can just tell he's so excited. He's sitting, he's looking at me and his tail is like, like just swimming all over the floor.
Ready to go. Yeah.
But I need him to get in control or his wiener's going to leak on people. And I don't want that.
Oh, see, now that's why. Okay, see, I'm learning. I need to do that because I'm always like, we have a guest. You want to come? And so I need to be better about that.
I think that you are already an excellent mother. So I think that you're going to be fine.
I think I'm a little soft.
I thought I was soft. And then my husband said, I don't think you can be that mean to a puppy. And I went, yes, you can. Because what are you
people
talking
would
about?
Call this nice.
Right.
I need my son to know he needs to listen to me.
Well, I just want him to know that there are rules because I know that dogs feel more secure. I'm saying this as somebody who's never had a dog before except for the last 10 months, that they feel more secure. So I'm obviously very well trained. They feel more secure when they have rules and guidance. And I feel like that's true because they kind of know what's going on. And that a lot of that excitement is like they just are like nervous.
Yeah. Like today I have, railing on the outside on my balcony and also inside where the stairs are. And this boy yesterday put his head through the railing outside and I almost had a heart attack.
Oh, I hate that.
And and before I knew it, I'm screaming and I was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh shit, I can't do that. And then he did it today while we were upstairs here in the office. And he stuck his little head out of the railing. And I was like, okay, Danielle, you're inside. Don't yell. And so I didn't say anything. And then all of a sudden he got stuck. And he like fought to get his little head out.
Oh my God. His head got stuck?
For 2 seconds because the way he turned. And so he squealed because he like almost choked himself.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh my God. Because it was part collar, also part him doing the turn.
Yeah.
But then he figured it out. And I think now he understands that's not going to work.
Oh, that really is stressing me out.
I know. Puppies just want to figure out things. And I think I hover, but I don't want to scare him. So like today he had a very old, long, like, you know what bobby pins look like the regular ones, but there's like longer, thicker ones.
Mm-hmm.
And this one was like, it had gotten wet apparently or something because it was rusty. And who
I don't
knows?
love that. I don't love a rusty.
It was rusty. When I got it from him, I was like, oh my God. But who knows where that was? And he was just playing and bouncing. And I looked and I was like, oh. And I was like, oh, son, let me see that. And of course, he doesn't want to give it to me. So now I pretend like I want to play and he drops it. And I was like, oh, thank God. Because he could have just like bit into a rusty bobby pin. Like,
they love to just eat everything. They love to eat everything. So that kind of brings us back to another pet etiquette thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Petite.
So another petite, if you have somebody coming over and you have a bigger dog, should you warn people? And the next question of pet etiquette is, should you let people know that you have pets? I have something to say off the bat. I think everyone's going to know I have a pet because I do talk about my dog all the time, nonstop. And I now am covered in hair. I'm like one of those disgusting human beings that will have dog hair on them now.
Yeah, I don't even know if I notice it because my baby's hair is short and black, but I am definitely, you need to, I tell people that I do have a puppy now, and because people are allergic out here in the world.
Yeah, they are.
And Rigatoni's also very small as a puppy. Well, he's kind of like a bigger puppy, but he's still small. But I think he's going to be bigger. And so there are people that are kind of like wary around dogs. So I mean, of course, I personally would like to know if you got a big dog if I'm coming over.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be scared with this giant Rottweiler coming around the corner and he wants to play and I'm freaked out.
I think that the dog should just be well behaved.
Couldn't we all just get along if that was what it was?
Yeah.
Because right now, like I'm thinking about the fact that I put my son in his room at 5:30 and it's 7:00. That's not a long time. He's perfectly fine. He's probably asleep because he's not whining. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to get down there.
I know. You know what? I think if you have people coming over and you know that your dog is going to be like crazy, you should separate them from the craziness. Don't set them up to fail.
Don't set them up to fail. But what about if you're in somebody else's house? Like, and they have a dog.
I've never taken Tony to someone else's house yet because I'll be honest, I love the guy. I love the guy. I love my son. He's amazing. But can I trust him? I don't know.
I feel very much the same about that. When I took Rigatoni onto the roof before you're supposed to take the dog out, because puppies need all their shots first.
Yes.
I thought, he's such a lovey little love button. These kids were on the roof with their mom. They didn't have a dog. They were just checking out the roof. And the girl was like, oh, there's a doggy. Can we touch him? And I was like, oh, yeah. Because, she was not like a baby, but she was like maybe 10.
Yes. Okay, I'm curious. What's your policy on strangers touching your dog?
I don't know if I love that because also Rigatoni went off. Like normally he's like, oh my God, human, please touch me. But he like barked at her and she got a little scared. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. He's such a, like, I don't know why he would do that. And so I was like, well, also girl, he only knows you really. So maybe.
So he's like, who the fuck is this smaller bitch?
Yeah. And also I was like, okay, maybe he's not ready for those type of interactions. But after even like reading and seeing that you're not supposed to bring them out into public spaces quite yet, I felt like so much regret. I was like, oh my God, could he have gotten germs from these people that hugged him? Because he did hug up this one couple that was up there the very first day I took him. And I was like, oh my God, does he have their germs?
But you know what? That does make me think of like, there's a lot of precautions you want to take when you get a new dog or a new animal. And it makes me think, how did these things survive? His mother was a street walker from Tijuana. And now I need to be worried about his shots?
Right. So that he can survive in this crazy world.
Exactly. Well, I'm gonna do what it takes.
Because I mean, without you, he would have had a harder time surviving.
That is
without you, without those shots, without You're right.
That is true. So I guess right now, Rigatoni is too young to be going on a walk around the block.
Yes, too young. I have to wait until mid-October.
You will love it. You will love it. So
I'm very excited about it.
So the pedicute on a walk. So let's talk about, should we always scoop the poop? Are there ever exceptions to the
No,
rule?
there's never exceptions, you dirty hoe. Scoop up your dog's poop.
There is never an exception. The only exception is like if you forgot a bag and there's no way for you to like move this anywhere. Otherwise, I'm saying don't leave it. At least kind of leaf it, you know, like grab anything you can to kind of move it out of the way.
Get that Funyuns bag that you see crumpled up on the corner.
That's what it's for. A Funyuns bag is now for shit.
But also, Mom, Dad, connect the little baggy thing to the leash.
Yeah.
Like that, I hate when people do not curb their dog, especially living in the city.
Yes.
And you know, I live in this apartment building. We have that rooftop dog park. And it's so disgusting that they provide a hose, they provide bags and the garbage.
Do people still not pick up?
People still don't pick up their dogs' shit from the AstroTurf or whatever that grassy fake stuff is. That what that's called? Yeah, they do not pick it up from that. And there's a hose because it smells so bad.
That's like
there.
a level of insanity I'll never understand. It smells so
bad out there, and all you have to do is hose it down. That's it. After your dog pees, you need to hose it down. That's it, and it won't stink to the high heavens out there. Like, it's also a roof. So it's also a hangout spot with a grill and a fire pit.
Insane.
And the whole thing just smells like a giant bathroom.
No.
Because people won't like clean. And I'm just like, this is the nicest building I've ever lived in my whole life.
And there's shit on it.
And people are acting like, oh, it'll just get cleaned. And honestly, it does at some point. But not every day.
I know. That's so
it's
wild
like you need to pick it. It's your dog's poop.
Yeah.
Your dog.
Right.
And also this is not like a substitute for walking your dog.
No.
So what are we doing?
Well, we are picking up poop. That is for sure.
Is definitely scooping. But I'm not scooping another dog's poop. I'm already grossed out from my own babies, but I'm not picking your dogs up.
No. I will say there's going to be something that you encounter when you go for your first few walks. And that for me was Tony. Oh, he wanted to play with every dog. And it was like pulling teeth to get him uninterested. But I realized it was kind of my fault because like I was like, no, we're going to power through this and we're just going to not engage with this other dog. But, you know, Tony was just like jumping at them, which that was embarrassing, so hardcore.
Yeah, because it really makes you look like you are just not good at this.
Yes. And I want it to be great.
I know, but you can't even really control them like.
No, and I was like, I won't be one of those people that if they see a dog, they'll like walk to the other side of the sidewalk. Give me 1 month, Danielle. I'm that person. Usain Bolt on the other side of the street.
Because you just don't even want it to start. And then now you understand why they were doing it.
Oh, I totally get it. And
it's like you have to make sure your dog is safe, but also that folks are safe. Like you just don't want any chance for your dog to do something that is unpredictable or even just like, oh, I know how he is. So let me just.
Yes. And so to go back to the people approaching you to pet your dog, I had a friend who gave me this amazing tip, which is a lie, but is amazing. Are you ready? The tip was someone approaches you. Oh my God, can I pet your dog? And you go, they're very aggressive. Which is, I think, brilliant.
It is very brilliant. I think that it sounds like no bitch, but it also is like, oh, for your safety.
Right. You're not saying no, but you are giving them the vibe, oh, I won't do it. And I'm saying that, you know, I've never had to do this yet because, you know, like I said, I'm running across the street to avoid anybody that I'm going to cross paths with.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to, if I felt like I really don't want this person up in Tony's business, I'd go, I'm sorry, he's aggressive. Meanwhile, Tony is afraid of sparkling water.
And that tail's just a wagging like, please.
Right. Yes, 100%.
Now, what if Tony pees in a friend's house whenever you do decide to take him out and about to people's houses? What if he pees inside your friends?
Oh, I'm going to die on the spot. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to die.
I would immediately, just because, first of all, I did not come with the pee spray.
Right. Which is essential.
Now I'm like, oh my God. And they ain't got no pee spray over here.
Right. Right.
And now their carpet smells like your dog's pee.
Yeah, I don't know what I think I would just like pass out. I would pass away. I would black out. I'd wake up in a coma years later. Yeah, years later. And I think that I would just be like, what happened? Maybe like you've been out for 10 years.
And not waking up at your funeral.
Right. And we thought you were gone. I said, no. I was taking a break.
Couldn't handle it.
So here's another pedicete thing, bites.
Oh.
If your dog bites another dog.
Oh my God, a nightmare. Please.
I know, nightmare situation. I don't even want to finish this sentence, but I think legally I have to. Bites another dog and their dog needs medical attention. Should you pay 100% of the vet bill? I think
yes. Oh my
yes.
God, unfortunately, yeah.
But God forbid I'm never getting into a situation like that. Also, I think if your dog is like biting other dogs,
something else is happening.
You need to follow me and Danielle and run across the sidewalk. You should be avoiding. You should frogger your way over there.
Only be walking on roofs. Like, don't even.
You should have a roof walker dog.
Don't bring them downstairs.
No.
Oh my God, that would be a nightmare for me. No,
it would be a complete nightmare if Tony ever did anything. I would. That would. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do.
What I would do either. Oh my gosh. What about if you do the dog park thing?
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
Yes, we have. So there's a few different dog parks around where I live. I like the one because there's less dogs. The thing about Tony is that, he's all of these mixed breeds, and somehow he's all of these bigger dogs, but he's a short dog, and he's a short dog with a thick neck. And so all of these dogs are running full speed, and poor Tony, God love him. And I know God does love him, but he did not bless him with long legs that move fast. So he's always the slowest dog.
Oh my gosh.
But
just slow.
He is so cute. And so when we're at the dog park, we've only had one instance, and this had nothing to do with Tony, but there was a woman at the park with her very large dog. And the very large dog was playing, and it looked like there was another large dog that was kind of like they were challenging each other a little bit, but what didn't seem dangerous, but she became very loud and screaming and like, yeah, there's a lot of personalities at the dog park. I don't know if
I like that.
No.
I don't like that. It's going to take me a while.
Because it's not even your dog that you have to be scared of at the dog park. I'm making you terrified of this, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's the other dogs because you don't really know. So if you do the dog park, which can be great, you have to find one that like you feel comfortable with and you can like kind of vibe there.
See, exactly. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about the dog park. We'll get there. We'll see.
You'll get there. You'll test it out because I think you'll like it, but then you'll also be like, I hate this.
So completely hate it. I want to play a little game with you, Adam.
Okay.
While we're talking about normalizing pet ownership, they're not only dogs out here for pet ownership. Obviously, we love them the most. But there's so many other kinds of pets that people can own. So let's play word association with pets. I say a pet, and you tell me what you think of owning that type of pet.
Okay. But how many words do I have?
However many words you want, but don't go off into a long thing.
Okay, great.
Unless you want to.
No.
And then I think I want to add a little more spice.
Okay.
We can do like, what celebrity do you think owns these pets?
Oh, okay. I do like this.
Okay.
Okay.
So obviously we're going to start with dogs.
Dogs, I think, great. That's my word.
Amazing.
I think great. Amazing.
Fulfilling. Who, I mean, we know a lot of celebrities who own dogs, but who do you think out there in the world owns a dog?
You know who strikes me as somebody who owns a dog? Is
Blue Ivy.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, she does.
Doesn't she look like somebody who's like, yeah, this is, she has an old rescue
Yeah,
dog.
she has like an old dog that has like one eyeball.
Yes, that she rescued herself from like a gutter. That's what I see.
Not that she rescued herself. Oh, we love Jennifer Lawrence.
I think Blue Ivy also has a beautiful purebred.
Yeah, she has some type of really amazing dog that is like very potty trained. All those things.
Very.
Just perfect. Cats.
Cats. I think cats are nice.
I don't really love the idea of cats at all. They're too much, too fast, and they do nothing.
Yeah, I will say I could do without the claws. I don't like, because those are really sharp.
Really painful.
But what I do really like about cats is that they do like to cuddle. And it can be a different energy. It's a different energy. So I do. So my word is
I like their independence.
Good.
I like their independence, but I am grossed out by the idea of cats.
Mm-hmm.
I think
who's your celebrity for cats?
I feel like Madonna owns like a hairless cat.
Oh, that absolutely seems and feels correct. I'm going to go Meryl Streep looks like she owns cats.
Oh, I would hate if Meryl owned a cat.
Oh, I think she does. And I hate to break it to you. I don't know if that's true at all. But she does look like somebody who has a cat. And I mean that in a good way. You're not taking it in a good way.
I'm not taking it in a good way.
Should I choose somebody else? I'll choose somebody else. A celebrity that has cat. You know who looks like they would have a cat also? Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa does look like she would have a cat.
Mm-hmm. I mean that in a good way.
In a good way. Like Doja Cat, I think actually does have one of those like hairless cats.
Have you ever held a hairless cat?
I would never.
They're very warm.
Ew. What about snakes?
Okay, snakes, I'm going to say, no.
Don't own that.
Don't own it.
Please get it out of your house.
No.
I am terrified. I'm not coming over, ever.
I think Jack Black owns a snake.
Oh my God, definitely.
He reads as someone who owns a snake.
I could see that for sure. I see...
Shakira.
Shakira would own a snake. I would give her more of a like lizard. But
okay.
I could see like honestly,
I see iguana for Shakira.
Yeah, like an iguana. I can definitely see that.
Mm-hmm.
For snakes, I feel like somebody like T-Pain.
Oh, T-Pain definitely has snakes.
Would definitely
but you know what?
Have like an exotic snake.
Yes.
Like a bright color one.
That he's never touched and that he has a keeper for.
But he also likes to feed it every once in a while because you just feed it live mice.
Yes. Okay, I see that. I do see that.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Shakira obviously has a iguana.
Yes.
You know who else has an iguana in my heart?
Michael Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Excuse me. I always miss that B in the middle. Famous iguana owner, Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. I think Tyga has an iguana. I could see that.
I see it.
But I also think people that own lizards, oh my God, on my Discover page on Instagram one time, there was this girl who has these, I forget the name of the dragon, but they're big dinosaur-looking lizards that are black.
Like a kimono dragon?
Yes, but he doesn't look as scary as a Komodo, but he does. But they're black, and she had that like swimming around in her bathtub.
Oh, I don't like that.
And then I went through her page, and it was like her like letting the lizard climb on her, but she had to wear these like special gloves because of the claws.
No.
Oh my God. No.
Read a book. Watch a movie about
like that is a wild lizard. That's not like a chill iguana or anything. Like
no.
Yeah.
Mabu
used to have a bearded dragon.
I don't like that. Dragons
one.
Shouldn't have beards, by the way.
Like, please shave it.
Yeah.
But like they want another one. And I was like, that's not gonna ever happen.
Yeah, no.
Nowhere in my house. And they act like I'm being ridiculous. But I was like, I think it's actually ridiculous that you want to own that.
Yeah. And now we're breeding?
And now we're like, another one?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Rabbits, I think are adorable, but they are freaky in real life.
Yeah, I think for me, rabbits go in the same kind of category as birds. And I will say that I like them in cartoons, but I don't like them. I
don't want them in real life.
No, they move too fast. I don't like anything that looks at things quickly. Do you know what I mean? But I know that you know exactly what I mean. But I don't like things that look at things too quickly. I don't like your fast eyeballs. No, I don't like that. I'm going to need you to not look at things so fast. Slow down
your looks, okay? Your looks are way too fast.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I could see like somebody like Lady Gaga having a rabbit.
Huh. I can see who do I think owns a rabbit? This is a really important kind of question
Or like Julia Roberts.
I think Jewel.
Jewel definitely has horses.
Oh, Jewel! I think Jewel has rabbits on. She lives on a farm, obviously.
Her and Sheryl Crow live on a farm.
Is that true? Okay, I'm guessing it's not.
It's like we're starting room. Sheryl Crow. If Sheryl Crow doesn't live on a farm, I'd be disappointed.
You know who I'm seeing? I think
Jewel gives me more of a cottage vibe.
Yeah, I think that rabbits are in the house, but she doesn't claim them as pets.
Oh my God, they just wandered in there.
Uh-huh.
And she sings, and they're like doing things that they would have done on Snow White.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
I can't. Well, Jewel is from Alaska, and I feel like everyone there lives outdoors.
Mm-hmm. Jewel, like the famous artist who lives outdoors.
It's a very outdoors place. Or maybe it's not because it's so cold, you should be inside.
We'll never know. We're city folk.
But Jewel, so we did find out that Jewel's family is from a family of farmers.
Okay, see, I know it reads. It reads.
See, the rabbit thing, it reads. It really does.
It does. What's our next animal?
Oh my God, ferrets.
Oh, no. No.
They are too much like possums that are too long.
Yeah, and I also say I hate to say this because I know that it's kind of mean, but I don't like the word ferret.
I know it sounds very gross and no one should own one.
It sounds like a slur.
Everything smells it's like, I don't want that. It stinks. It's a racial slur somehow.
Yeah. Again, it's another thing. Like if you move too fast, if you're looking fast at stuff, I don't like that. I'm so sorry. I don't like that.
You're looking way too fast. You know who has a ferret?
Tell me.
Shia LaBeouf.
100%. I don't even have like another rebuttal to that. I think Shia has also lizards too.
And rabbits.
Yeah.
Why are we making people into
I don't know. I love it though.
Having a great time. What about like insects? Like people that own like spiders or like rare grasshoppers from somewhere. I don't know like what kind of like rare insects people own, but I think that is such a gross
I really don't like that at all.
Use of animal keeping. That is not the pet that I think anyone should have. Because the idea of them coming out of the whatever container they're in and they're just in your house.
Yeah.
I would kill everything if I ever saw a tarantula like roaming free.
Yeah. I don't like anything that needs to, for the safety of everyone, stay in a container.
Yeah. Like, I have this scorpion from Madagascar. Like, no.
No.
We don't need that.
Tchotchke.
People have ant farms.
No. You know what?
Why do you have a bunch of ants captive?
Right. Shouldn't they be farming outside?
Like, why are they in a thing? This doesn't seem right.
No,
what about
I really
roaches?
don't.
Do you think people?
No roaches.
Roach pets.
I don't like anything that has an exoskeleton.
I don't like
that.
Who do you think has insects as pets, like freaking ant farms or roaches?
Danielle, I really don't want to put that on someone. That's a burden I'm not ready to put on someone.
Machine Gun Kelly looks like.
Yeah, he does.
He looks like he loves it. And who's the hot girl that he's with?
Megan Fox.
Yeah, I was about to say Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit, the famous hot person.
Famous hot girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Jessica
I feel like Megan Fox is just like, I support my man. I'm going to stick beside him.
Yeah.
In
She
his
does
cockroach farm.
do that.
I could see it. But what about when people like, I feel like this is giving very Abu Dhabi, very like big money.
Mm-hmm.
But when they have like exotic tigers and like animals like that as
that
pets.
scares me. Those
Instagram videos?
Yeah.
Where people are like chilling in their home and there's like a tiger that walks by.
I don't.
This is not safe for anybody.
No. I just got over the fear of my own scared of sparkling water pit bull mixed dog. So I'm not getting a tiger.
I'm not getting a tiger who could actually kill me.
No.
Like just because I raised it, it doesn't mean that it's still bigger and like just the idea of a paw the size of my body swiping across my face.
Oh, God.
Like that is terrifying.
Yeah.
Why do you have this animal? I've seen, and I actually follow this hairstylist who has a pet monkey.
See, I'm also scared of those too.
Yeah, because he has the kind, I don't know. He doesn't have the kind that you see when you think of like monkey, the ones that they put in like the little overalls with the cute, like, he has one of those like, the ones that you see in like Thailand. Those little ones from the videos that are like, like, oh my God. And they are fast and scrappy.
Do you ever I get uncomfortable when I see videos of people who own monkeys and the monkeys are wearing diapers.
Because obviously the monkey is shitting all over the house and imagine something with the dexterity of a cat, but also the like agility of a gymnast. So it's like doing all these flips and things around the house because it normally does that in a jungle.
Yeah.
And it's doing it in your home. Like the hairstylist that I follow who has this monkey, he used to have 2 of them. One of them passed. But it was so terrifying watching that monkey run around his house. Like you couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah. And also like, no offense, but I do think it's weird that their arms are like legs.
Right. So it's swinging everywhere and it can just do whatever.
Yeah. I think choose one.
Choose one.
Arms
you can't have
legs.
all these arms and legs at the same time. It's a lot.
Yeah.
What about like chickens and things like pigs? My mom had a pet pig growing up.
See, I had a friend that had a pet pig, and they're really smart and delicious.
That's the best part. That is horrible.
The best part. What about
PETA
horses?
is knocking your door down. Horses are like how you felt about birds and bunnies. Like I like them in cartoons and the idea of them, but a real life horse it's so much muscle and it's so big.
Yeah.
They are majestic looking animals and I can't.
Yeah, I don't like something that I know can easily overpower me.
And literally kill me. When they say horsepower, I get it now.
Yeah, because that shit can move.
And it's just so muscular. I'm like, ooh, child. But
the legs on
that thing. But shout out to this woman by the name of Jolie on Instagram. She got famous from like going viral because she had this goat named Billy. And she would be on Instagram live and she would go to the store and Billy would be in the car and she would leave her phone on live and be like, y'all watch my goat for me.
Oh my God. Wait,
and she ran into the store and came out and Billy would be in the car like, Ma! Like wearing overalls and stuff. It's so cute. But like she lives in North Carolina and her journey has been so interesting because honestly, she deserves a show. But she's had so many different goats and chickens and like she called one of her goats mistakenly. Like it's just like she's just so funny. So it's like I love seeing people have unconventional pets like that, but like also be unconventional people.
Yeah.
Like she's just country. So she's used to like growing up on like, farms with animals, but she doesn't have a farm. She just has all these animals.
Well, I can guarantee you that I will not have a goat going on live.
And not letting us babysit it?
No, if I had a goat, I would let you babysit it.
On live, but not in person.
On live. Yes. All right, Danielle, before we close out this segment, what about pets are we normalizing?
We are going to normalize pet ownership in your own place, space, and time. Okay. If you have your own place, I don't care if you're renting it, whatever, you can get a pet.
Yeah.
You can create whatever zoo you want to create in there.
Agreed.
If you cohabitate in any way, shape, or form, there is more than one person in that home of yours making decisions, living a grown-up life.
Mm-hmm.
Please be mindful of the humans and the animals in the situation. Don't be letting all the people and the dogs and the this and the that just eating all the turkey meat off the table and just doing all the other things and the cats in the way, and just don't be doing that around all the other people. I think it gets crazy.
Oh, it gets so crazy.
Adam, what about you? What do you want to normalize?
I want to normalize creating rules for your pets.
Oh, yes. Rigatoni has rules.
He does. Tony has tons of rules. I do love that we have a rigatoni and a Tony.
And a Tony. Listen, my rigatoni, my Tony is a black Tony. He is growing up in a black household. Mm-hmm. He is not allowed in my kitchen. That's number one. I also don't allow him in my bedroom, but that's more so I just want to keep that my little sacred space, and I don't want to pick up all the little things that he could get off the floor. So it's like, you are not allowed in here. But boundaries. Tony cannot come into the kitchen.
Yeah. My Tony, because like our front door is like facing a very busy street. So we've really instilled in Tony that every time he hears the doorbell, he has to go and like sit in this one little spot of the house. Mm-hmm. And so it's so cute because when the doorbell does ring, or if we open the back door or the front door, he like runs over to that spot just to like sit. But I also want to make sure that when we have friends over, that Tony isn't going crazy. I had a friend over recently who's afraid of dogs, and Tony is like 50 pounds.
Right.
I'm bragging. He's huge. But he's like a big guy, and she's afraid of dogs. And it was nice to be able to have like control over Tony in this situation.
Yeah, so that he's not jumping all about and everything like that, and just causing a ruckus.
It is. And also, I will say, as now a first-time dog owner, I can tell you that it is so embarrassing when like the dog does something that you have no idea like why. Yes.
I'm also going to take Rigatoni to puppy training classes.
So good.
I think that, there's certain things that I want him to do, and certain commands I need him to follow, but also I need him to just know how to act with other dogs. Because so far, like, we've had our run-ins at either like the vet or a little Petco healthy spot moment. And he gets like kind of excited over certain dogs and kind of not. And so it's the big dogs that he wants to really like excite and all that. So I just want to like know how to have him properly interacting.
Yeah. And it's just, you just want to feel like your dog can be reliable.
Yes.
And when they're a puppy, oh my God, I've never met anyone less reliable in my life. We'll be walking down the street. Now Tony's much better. When we go on a walk, he's like very like we're focused.
Yes.
But when he was first learning how to walk like on a leash,
the time.
Oh my God.
The time it would take. Sometimes I would like force myself to not be like frustrated because I'm like, they're discovering, but oh my God.
I know. And it's just like, if I'm moving forward, you don't know anywhere in this neighborhood. Why do you think you're going to go off-roading?
Off-roading at all times.
Stop.
Yes. Also normalize scoop and poop.
Yeah, come on.
No matter what the circumstances are. I don't care if you left the house without a bag.
Figure it out.
Are you wearing a shirt?
Right. Free-handed.
Are you wearing socks? Figure something out.
Yeah. I don't understand how people can just leave it.
And the dog park upstairs has a trash can with bags.
No, that's so unacceptable. It's so lazy,
It's
and
so
they ruin it for everybody else. They ruin it for everybody else.
Now, instead of like, oh, a quick late night pee, I'm going to go upstairs. No, now you got to go downstairs like everybody else.
No.
Because you have ruined it for us here. And so I just like having a city dog. There's already limits on where they can go outside, especially if you don't have a yard. I don't have a yard. And so my dog has to take a walk around the block, a very Koreatown sidewalk block. And there's only certain limited patches of grass, and people still will not pick up after their animal.
Yeah. And I honestly, now I'm on my high horse. My new pet is the high horse. I'm sitting on it. And I'm like, why would you want your also street or neighborhood or where you walk to just be dirtier and dirtier?
Yeah. And like, I know I mentioned my building being a luxury building, but I think I'm mentioning it more so because like, we're paying a decent amount of money to live here. And so many people that actually live here too will walk outside of the apartment door and allow their dog to pee right there.
I mean,
as opposed to walking them down the block. So why does my front door to get in and out of my building smell like dog pee?
Right. Well, you know why.
It's like, are y'all really just walking outside and letting him do it right here on the sidewalk?
I know. I mean, if you already took the effort to go downstairs.
Just go a little bit down, a little bit more.
15 feet. Oh my God. People are people need to go to people training classes.
Yes. Take the people to the people training classes. Let them learn how to poop. Scoop the poop.
Scoop the poop.
We are judging you because you're gross. Yeah. If I actually see it, if I come upon a person doing
I've never seen it.
in real time, I don't even think I would know what to do.
I would, oh my God, I would say something.
Because I know people are looking at me when my puppy is pooping.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got it.
Exactly.
In conclusion, create rules for your pets. Let's normalize that. Let's normalize just being conscientious of those around us in our own spaces, in your communal spaces. Come on.Mostly normalize rules for the pet owner as well. You know, honestly, don't be gross. You're sharing nature with all of us.
It always comes down to the owner.
Yeah, you're sharing the world with all of us.
Be a responsible pet owner. Please. Danielle, should we get into keep it or curb it?
Yes, my favorite part.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah. Keep it or curb it. I feel like you don't come in to the or curb it part, but it's fine.
No, I let you lead, and then I try to kind of softly I can't wait to hear myself back, and it's going to be one of those things where I think I sound gorgeous, but
it's not gorgeous.
I sound like one of those goats on live.
Mom!
Mom! Okay, keep it or curb it. Are you ready, Danielle?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, gorgeous.
Anything.
Second of all, in recent years, there have been a number of incidents in schools around the country where teachers have been fired or ridiculed away from their jobs for being too sexy in school.
Okay. Not just they shaming teachers for being sexy?
Too sexy. Okay. So just this past year.
I bet you it's all women and not any men.
I will 100% agree with you that it's mostly, I'm 100% sure, all women. So this past year, there was a teacher. Her name is Patrice Brown. She was let go from her job because she claims the principal didn't like her tight-fitting clothes. Critics say there should be no tolerance for sexy teachers in the classroom, while others are calling it an attack on women's bodies and rights. So should we keep or curb sexy teachers? Let's dig in.
See, the thing about that is we should always have a sexy teacher.
100. It's an awakening.
In any age is going to be a distraction, like especially if it's a high school, junior high moment where, you know, hormones are high. But if it's like kindergarten and all that, like you can't. Now we are getting into policing of women's bodies because it's reminding me of the stories of the little girls who want to do ballet and maybe they, are in a lineup of all different girls who are just flat as a board, perfect for ballet. And then there's this one little black girl with a booty, and she's told that she doesn't have the right body, or she's too curvy, or whatever. And it just kind of makes it feel like weird that you can only have a certain type of body to do a certain type of thing. Like teaching has never been like, oh, if you're sexy, don't even look this way.
Right.
Like, what?
So also, we're not talking about...
You're sexualizing me.
Right, exactly. Because we're not talking about a teacher walking in with stickers over her nipples wearing a pair of pleasers. Right.
She's in jeans.
And a t-shirt.
And granted, the jeans are tight, but if she were to be wearing leggings in this classroom, we're looking at a picture of the teacher in question, and Miss Patrice Brown. And in this classroom she's standing in, it's giving very much kindergarten because she's standing on a mat, an alphabet letter mat.
Yes.
And those kind of things show up in kindergarten. They show up in first grade. And it's if she were wearing leggings to teach that type of grade, would that be inappropriate? And would that be something that now, okay, it's too sexy? Is it just that the jeans are too fitting? Where do you draw the line? Because even if I'm looking at Patrice.
I'm looking at Patrice too.
Miss Brown to the students. And even if Miss Brown were to put on a sundress, her thing is going to be thangin'. She just has a body.
The thing, if to describe the photo to you, Miss Brown is wearing tight jeans and a form-fitting t-shirt, and I think that she looks very nice. Her clothes
she looks
fit
like she's
properly.
going to homecoming.
Yeah, she's I think that the policing of women's bodies and the sexualizing them and telling women what is appropriate is so old.
It really is. I don't know if this is related or not, but maybe it is. But I just remember being I'm a curvier woman for sure. And when I travel, I'll typically wear a button up and some linen type pants, something it's not form fitting, but you can't help but see some of my curves sometimes. And I can't help but look good. That's just what it is.
Can't help it. Exactly.
Can't help it. And I was at this store inside of the airport, and this woman was like, is that how you're traveling? All dressed up? She really, And I was like, oh God. I was is that how you travel, all dressed up? And I was like, oh, honey, this isn't dressed up.
And my favorite part about that story is that I was actually that woman who approached you.
It was you the whole time.
It was me the whole time. It was me inside of that Hudson News.
I knew it. Oh, how'd you know?
Right next to the Sprites.
That's where I was.
Yeah,
but no, I just thought it was so funny because it just, in the words of Miss Patrice, she never said this, Miss Patrice Brown, but I'm sure she feels listen, my casual just happens to look like you're dressed up. My casual just happens to look like you're super sexy. I cannot help that this is what clothes look like on my body. Some people just have it in them to always look like something. And she's just one of those people.
Arguably, Miss Brown is very beautiful.
Drop dead gorgeous.
Yes, she's very beautiful. She has long hair and it's, all done. I think anything that she wears is going to look good on her.
That's what I'm saying.
So there's no winning.
Help that her bare minimum is somebody's super to the maximum with 3 X's.
Exactly.
So we're never going to curb a sexy teacher, but we do need to curb people policing how sexy someone can just be.
Agreed. Because if she can't wear a tight t-shirt, why is it okay for a male teacher to wear something tight?
Because I ain't never heard nobody say, oh, those khaki pants, too sexy. Oh, I can see his print. It's always
print.
The policing of a woman. It's her curves, way too sexy for school.
Yeah, exactly.
Grow up.
No, we curb the policing and we keep the teacher.
Keep the sexy teachers. Please.
Please.
Next one, Adam. In recent months, because we don't like no old news.
No, I only want recent months.
Recent months. Scientists at MIT have created a new drug. Dun, 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 dun. New drug alert.
Our favorite segment.
Yeah. It's a capsule that can help large proteins like insulin be absorbed in the digestive tract. You better go ahead on, MIT scientists. This capsule has a robotic cap that spins and tunnels through the mucus barrier of the small intestine and allows the drug to be carried inside of the body. It's a robot cap.
Okay.
So right now, the robotic capsule is only being tested on animals.
Okay.
So are we keeping or curbing these tiny robot pills entering our bodies and burrowing into our intestines to then help us get better health care? Because we'll see what's going on. I am terrified. Curb.
Right. I'm scared. And I'll be honest, I didn't understand a word you said.
Imagine them like you taking a pill. And this pill being imagined, it's in your mouth. Now you swallowed it.
Yeah.
Normally you don't even feel that, right?
Right. And you pee it out.
Imagine you start to feel that pill gearing up.
Revving.
Horsepowering its way down your esophagus into your stomach through whatever, down through your intestines, and then the engine's just revving in there. That's what this pill sounds like.
Well, I'm keeping it because I think that MIT is a good school.
Wow.
Right? No.
I think it is a good school. I do think that innovation in healthcare is important.
I'm scared of it, though.
But that sounds terrifying. It sounds like the mark of the beast or something, you know? Like in Revelations, where they talk about, in the Bible, in Revelations, they talk about the end of the world, and like there'll come a time when money's obsolete and you'll need the mark of the beast to be able to buy and sell goods. And like some of the people on YouTube, if you go down a rabbit hole,
it sounds like you have.
And I have. They talk about a lot of these like things that can insert into your body, these like chips or, microchips and things like that are very similar to the idea of the mark of the beast. So this like pill is giving very like technologically advanced, but also end of world.
This reminds me that the other day I did sign up for that thing when you go to Whole Foods. Do you know that at Whole Foods now, because Jeff Bezos is in control, that you can just wave your palm over something and it will like know who you are and can charge your credit card?
No.
Yeah. Oh, and I signed up for it lickety split because
you have the mark of the beast.
Good. I can buy stuff.
Buy and sell goods. Well, are you going to keep or curb the robots entering our bodies?
I'm keeping. Get in. Buckle up,
I'm gonna
bitch,
curb
because you
it
have
and
no
pray
idea
for the
what's in
best.
there.
None. And not. What if the robot pill decides, okay, I'm gonna do my own thing once I get, and just drives its way through your whole body?
I've been doing my own thing for 33 years.
Ooh, somebody else need to come in here and help.
Exactly.
That's real.
I keep.
All right. Moving on then.
All right, moving on. According to research by Johns Hopkins University, students at high schools, I know it's a great JHU. I don't know if anyone's ever called it that. But students at high schools with prominent security measures have lower math scores, and they're also less likely to attend college and are suspended more than students at schools with less surveillance. So should we keep or curb maximum security high schools? This is an interesting statistic.
I know, right? Because they're saying the more security makes lower math scores and makes them less likely to attend college and are suspended more. So it seems like the security is not helping.
Well, I would go even further and say that like these schools that have higher securities are probably in areas that are a little rougher than the schools that have more. And so
I don't know how, but it feels racist.
It does. It feels, I think that like the security has really nothing to do with it. And it's probably lack of resources throughout the whole school.
But then you also have to think about the fact that school shootings are very real. Mass shootings are so very real here in the United States that like school security and stuff is not only just the protection for, whatever's happening internally, but it's also like what could potentially happen. But I don't know. Any movie that you've watched from the 90s where there has had to be metal detectors in the schools and like freaking, what's her name?
Julia Childs.
Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer needs to come in and save the school from themselves. The school never quite makes it. It's just, the students, it's only so much that this white woman can do.
There's only so much any white woman can do.
Ooh, but they try. Very much don't.
It's a swinging pendulum.
Less security, more Michelle Pfeiffers in school.
Yeah. Can we just say that? What is Michelle doing? Can't she go to school?
What is Michelle Pfeiffer up to? Have we checked on her?
We should.
We should
normalize checking on Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, because, no one has said anything.
We haven't, and we are now, though.
I'm just going to do a quick Michelle Pfeiffer scoop and see just what's going on.
But to these schools, I think, if you were going to school in something that felt like a maximum security prison, I don't know if I'd want to go back to school because that is a traumatizing experience. So I completely understand if that was your experience in high school, that you don't feel like it would be any better in college.
Nah, I don't think it would be. Because I don't know. High school is hard enough with them teaching you all this useless information and you're just like in your defiant age. It's like high school needs to be skipped over as a whole.
They should just email it.
Just email us our assignments and let us do it that way. And also I checked in on Michelle Pfeiffer because sadly, not too long ago, we lost rap legend Coolio.
I know.
And somebody decided that was a good time to check in on Michelle Pfeiffer.
Was it you?
It wasn't me. But she took to Instagram to share her thoughts on Coolio being a quote unquote gracious person. So Michelle's doing good.
That's good.
And rest in peace, Coolio.
Yeah. Danielle, what would a Danielle Young high school look like?
Oh my gosh, I'm saving all the kids. So I would want them to be in classes that are actually real. I need them to learn the real history of the United States.
Yes.
I'm teaching all kinds of Black history. I'm teaching Black future. It's a very Black Lives Matter high school around here. We're definitely going to have a big marching band. Very big on the football situation. I'm Southern, so like we got to have all the, the football games, the competitions and all that.
Of course. But
here's the thing. I want the brainiacs to be like the popular kids. You know what I mean? I want the kids that have secure futures to be the ones that feel the most supported and celebrated.
Yeah, I agree. I think at Adam Rippon High School, I would want to learn things that are useful because I didn't know how to do my taxes until I was on TurboTax.com and was like, what is this? And it's
way too late. And your credit score is getting, chopped and screwed.
Yes. And I would like to learn about my credit score and like how to, invest money. I would like to know useful things that I did not learn until I was out of school completely.
Right. I'm still just trying to make up for lost time with a lot of the financial lessons that you learn as you get
or even
older.
Just the financial savvy of like what to do with money when you have it and how to like use it properly or how to.
What matters most when you are making money, because there's so many things that you just end up pushing off that you're like, I really think you should focus in on that.
Yeah. There's a lot of things I didn't focus in on.
Right. Yeah, and I would love my school to have that type of really smart and practical learnings. Like there's tax class.
Yes.
Imagine being a high schooler and your math course like the things that you focus on for the whole 4 years are like applicable. You know,
that
like
would be incredible.
We're taking taxes. We're taking what is another financial thing that we can make into a math class that people need to learn?
The stock market.
Investing, yes. That kind
I
of
don't
stuff.
even know what the stock market. I don't get it.
Like, where do I go? Do I need to be there physically?
Right.
Do
Why
I
are
type
things
it
going
in?
up and down? Can somebody please explain why are stocks going
Am
up
I way
and
too
down?
late to get Bitcoin now?
Yeah. If I can't hold it, I don't want it.
Ooh, is that something Michelle Pfeiffer would say?
Yeah, she would.
It seems like
it's a famous quote of hers.
I can't hold it. I don't want it. That was my Michelle Pfeiffer impression.
Who is the one? Michelle. Hold on. I need to. I know who Michelle Pfeiffer is.
Oh, you know Michelle. Don't play her.
Hold on.
She's
Michelle.
one of the most important white women
of our generation.
Time. Yeah.
Oh, that's Michelle Phillips. Hold on.
She's been pretty unproblematic, I must say.
She's okay. Yes, I love Michelle Pfeiffer.
And I think because, if I'm not mistaken, because she's been as unproblematic as she has, I think she might be one of the white women who doesn't age like the rest of them.
Mm-hmm. You know who else doesn't age? Cindy Crawford.
Yeah, Julia Roberts either. She's like,
yes,
it's still good.
Do you remember there was this commercial that I don't remember every word, but I remember every other word. And it was like Jean-Louis Sabet. And she was selling that melon lotion. That was Cindy Crawford.
Oh, I don't remember that.
But
I would like to report that I was correct about Michelle Pfeiffer.
She looked
good.
Yeah, she looks incredible.
I am sure she must really, truly be unproblematic.
Yeah. She's moisturizing.
She looked good. And it don't look fake snatched either, even though it could be. But she looked good.
She does look incredible. Sandra Bullock also looks incredible.
Oh, now that is one unproblematic white woman.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
I love when white people are unproblematic.
Me too. Me too. Fun fact. I know we already did it this episode, but you brought up Sandra Bullock. I went to the same college as Sandra Bullock.
You did?
Yeah, she didn't graduate. But
she didn't.
She made it, you know?
Right. That's half the battle.
She was halfway to a degree. Do. She was definitely in the theater program that I was in. But yeah, it turned out for her, you know?
Yeah. Congrats, Sandy.
And Sandy also looks like she would own the sweetest pups.
Uh-huh. And horses.
For sure, horses. And she probably has like a butterfly farm.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's a goddess.
She probably donated a highway.
She definitely has a wing of a school named after her somewhere.
Mm-hmm. The Danielle Young High School.
Yeah, and there's going to be like the Sandra Bullock Hall of Excellence. Hall of Black Excellence.
It's exactly what she would have wanted.
Sandra Bullock over everything. Mm-hmm. Listen, Adam, what was your favorite takeaway from this episode? All about our pets and Michelle Pfeiffer.
I think, one, it was just great to talk about Michelle Pfeiffer. And second, I'm so happy that I overcame my fear of Princess Love, who is dead now. But I am glad that I overcame it and I have a dog now, because it is truly, having a pet is the best, most rewarding thing.
It is. If more people had pets, they would have less time to complain about Miss Patrice Brown's curves in her kindergarten class.
That's a great takeaway.
I think that's the best takeaway.
Mm-hmm.
Have pets so you can mind your business.
Right.
All right. Well, unfortunately, this is our time for today. Everybody, really, honestly, truly, we thank you in your ears for listening to us today. And or tonight, whatever time it is you're listening.
Whatever time.
But
thank you.
Thank you. Make sure that not only are you listening, but that you're rating, commenting, subscribing to Normalize This wherever you listen to your podcasts, even if it's on Michelle Pfeiffer's internet.
Especially if it's on her internet.
That's where you should be listening. Reach out to us on social media so that we know that you're doing all those things that we just asked you to do. I'm at RapsoDanny on Twitter and at the Danielle Young on Instagram. Adam?
And I'm at @arip on Instagram and @AdamRipon on Twitter.
Slide into those DMs with your best Sandra Bullock gifts and let us know what you want to see normalized. Because we need you. Otherwise, we wouldn't, this podcast wouldn't happen. And I know you want it to happen. So please do
exactly.
that. Adam, that's it. That's
Danielle,
all.
Thank you. What a great chat.
We try our best to make the chats great. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, make sure you follow my baby, Rigatoni. That's with 2 G's on Instagram @TheYoungRigatoni. 2 G's.
Oh my God, too cute.
You know why. If you're black.
And if you're white, ask your black friends. Goodbye, everyone. Hey, listeners, we want to hear from you. Make sure you're following @MakeSpringHill on all platforms for weekly show updates.